The battle axe is a clearing build that is also a PvP build. Hear me out. This is a weapon that allows you to inflict incredible amounts of damage while also reserving a decent amount of lifesteal. And if you use the Mark Jacket, a burst to get a second or third health bar according to how many times you disengage and re-engage. How does it work? Let's start with the build itself. You want the following items. Of course, the battle axe and a torch. The torch is going to help you with the attack speed, and the battle axe is going to be your main source of damage. Then for armor, Hunter's Hood, so you can reflect some of those large bursts of damage that comes from spells, such as the curse stuff, the fire stuff, or the ice stuff, the frost stuffs. For a jacket, you want the Mercenary Jacket for that extra lifesteal burst that you will get, allowing you to use your skills and to burst down your enemy while getting your health back up as fast as possible. And for boots, any boots will work that is of leather. However, I tend to go for the hunter shoes, as these will give you just that extra refreshing sprint. This will allow you to essentially cool down your abilities and to do your burst again as quickly as possible to chase down your enemies, and above all else, it will make sure that you can survive if you need to run away. With regards to abilities, I have Rending Rage, which is the main source of damage for you. This ability has no cast time and very low energy cost, where you are essentially dealing damage to an area in front of you, applying bleed, and the third leap will allow you to root enemies within a 5-foot radius of you and deal extra amount of damage. Each rending charge makes the enemies receive less healing, and it deals 112 damage over 6 seconds. You can stack this up to 3 times, meaning that you can do a decent amount of damage with that. Your second ability should be in either Adrenaline Boost or Battle Rush. Now, hear me out. Adrenaline Boost will give you that mobility and attack speed, as well increase your damage up by 25%. This is absolutely incredible, and this is insane because if you do deal damage, it will last up to 7 seconds, where you move faster, you attack faster, and you're dealing more. If you don't, it will only last 3.5 seconds. However, it's still good to have that extra 40% movement speed. And finally, Blood Bandit is your E. Blood Bandit has 2 abilities. The combo resets after 10 seconds, and it is really important to use it in a specific manner. Now, this synergizes extremely well with your Q. The more rending charges the enemy has on them, the more damage and healing that you get. Meaning that the first Blood Bandit, the blood draw that you throw, will deal physical damage to all enemies in that direction. And if you have maximum charges, this can deal up to 1,100 damage, in my case with a 7.1. This varies according to what weapon you have and the mastery, but just using it as a reference point. And then the second one, Blood Bandit, which will still deal 490 physical damage, which is still pretty decent amount of damage, especially considering it has a 17-meter range, and you will get up to 400 HP back. Now, the cool thing about this is if you only use Blood Draw and wait 10 seconds, you can use Blood Draw again. Now, the idea is that while fighting, you use Blood Draw and hold on to Blood Bandit till you are damaged enough to make it worth using. Normally, I always use Blood Draw as an engagement as soon as I used my Qs, and then I wait, use Blood Draw again, and instantly after Blood Bandit. This allows me to do incredible amounts of damage in a very short period of time. With regards to your passive, I normally go for Life Leech, as that adds sustain. However, Deep Cuts is also quite good, as this adds another bleed on top of all your rending cuts, which again, pretty damn good. Now, With regards to your hood, you want to use your retaliate. With regards to your jacket, you want to use bloodlust. With regards to your shoes, you want refreshing sprint. Their passives should all be balanced mind, as that will give you additional damage and healing, and it will boost all of your abilities. For your cape, you want to have the Avalonian cape. This is because the Avalonian cape will deal insane amounts of damage to everyone around you while reducing the amount of damage they deal. So when you perform a normal attack, something that you're going to do a lot with your axe, you're able to reduce the damage, and oftentimes this is your starting whenever you engage and people are using their bursts at the start, so you're reducing the amount of damage they do. You're healing up because of all of your other passives. It is a really good synergy. It's expensive, I understand. Thetford cape will work just as well, or a Morgana cape. However, Avalonian cape, way to go. Absolutely insane. Really bloody good. Now, I synergize this with the poison potion. As always, I find it incredibly useful. You could use health potions or the Gigantify potions in this case, because they both work very well with your passives and the general build. However, poison potion, just absolutely insane. And beef stew, because, hey, it's really good. You could use the pork roast, where you get the extra lifesteal and the extra sustain. However, I tend to enjoy the amount of burst that this build gives. It just takes a bit of time. In terms of clearing dungeons, this is an incredibly good build. It will allow you to keep going without ever having to really stop to rest for mana or anything. Unless you're pushing it yourself too hard, then you will have to stop and rest as always. With regards to mists, it's really quite decent, and even the Avalonian roads. I found it to be quite good at dealing with others, especially when you get ganked. You're able to do a decent amount of damage back. And if you're in a group, it also helps, as you're quite a good bruiser off tank that will allow you to just help your team in general, especially your tank, by taking the initial hits from the bosses and then letting your tank take over. Hope you find this build useful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.